Asian markets were in positive territory on Monday amid some progress toward finalizing a phase one trade deal between the U.S. and China. Over the weekend, China's Commerce Ministry said both sides have agreed to properly address core issues, and China's Commerce Ministry said both countries have confirmed that the U.S. will import cooked poultry from China, while Beijing will lift the ban on U.S. poultry. Meanwhile, profits at China's industrial sector fell 5.3% in September year-on-year. The Shanghai Composite was up 0.85% to close at 2,980.05. Hong Kong Hang Seng Index bounced 0.76% towards the end of the session. Over in Japan, the Nikkei 225 climbed 0.30%, and South Korea's Kospi gained 0.27% to close at 2,093.60. Australia's S&P ASX 200 traded flat to close at 6,740.70. Overall, MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan was up 0.44%. In Europe, stocks rose despite downbeat results from the HSBC holdings. Moreover, the regional stocks registered a new multi-month high. After trading in negative territory through much of the day, the Stoxx Europe 600 ended with a gain of 0.33%, the best level since January 29th of 2018. The German DAX rose 0.49%, the French CAC 40 increased 0.28%, and the UK FTSE 100 rose 0.19% to 7,338.15. HSBC shares fell 3.8% as the company said it can no longer hit next year's target of an 11% return on tangible equity. The bank's profit tumbled 24% in the third quarter on what it called challenging conditions. On the Brexit front, the European Union granted a 3-month extension to Brexit. The UK Parliament is set to vote on whether to hold an election on December 12th, with the opposition Labour Party not expected to support it. In the U.S., the S&P 500 hit a record high on Monday as investors cheered strong earnings and progress on U.S.-China trade. The S&P 500 rose 0.6%, closing above 3,027.98, the record set on July 26th. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.5%, and the Nasdaq Composite climbed 1% to 8,325.99. Microsoft shares rose 2.5% on the news that the company won a $10 billion cloud contract from the Defense Department. AT&T gained more than 4% after announcing a 3-year plan that includes the addition of 2 new board members and the sale of up to $10 billion worth of non-core businesses in 2020. Walgreens, Boots Alliance, AT&T, and Spotify among the 3 companies that reported stronger than forecast profits, with Spotify rallying over 16%. In currencies, the dollar was mixed against the majors, with the European currencies recovering partially after the latest decline, while the USD Japanese yen gained but encountered resistance around 109, where the 200 DMA lies. The greenback eased as risk sentiment improved amid a progress in the US-China trade talks and easing concerns over Brexit. The Euro-US dollar received support around 1.1070, but still failed to see a daily close above the 1.11 handle. The GBP USD has settled around 1.2850. The pound rose marginally due to improvements on the Brexit front. And in general, this week could be very volatile for the pair as investors factor in Brexit developments and the FOMC, US GDP, and non-farm payroll. In commodities, oil prices eased on Monday after 4 days of gains as worries about weak Chinese industrial data offset the hopes that oil demand will rise as talks progress on a US-China trade deal. Meanwhile, Russia's energy ministry said that the OPEC Plus would factor in any slowdown of U.S. oil output growth when they meet to discuss their output agreement in December. However, Russian deputy energy minister said it was premature to talk about deeper production cuts. The API is scheduled to release its data for the latest week later today, while the U.S. government's Energy Information Administration's inventory data is scheduled for release on Wednesday. And that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please click subscribe to always be in touch with the latest market news.